and we have our latest update from our very own Blake Holland. Blake, you are still in Huntsville outside of the prison where Robert Roberson stands to potentially still be executed by midnight tonight. What do we know so far?
Michaela, since we last spoke, the new development is that the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, which is the state's highest criminal court, denied this temporary restraining order, which is what resulted in Robert Roberson not being executed as he was supposed to be at 6 o'clock this evening. This temporary restraining order coming out of a district court in Travis County, a judge issuing that just before 5 o'clock this afternoon, over an hour before the scheduled execution of Robert Roberson. And within the last 30 minutes, we've learned that the state's highest criminal court, that being the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, has denied this restraining order that essentially put this execution on pause. We spoke earlier with a TDCJ official ahead of the scheduled execution at 6 o'clock, and she told us as long as things are caught up in the courts, as long as things are pending in the courts, things are going to be on pause here. And that's what we've been hearing also from our guy on the inside, who is set to play witness to this execution tonight if it ends up happening later this evening. He's been telling us from the inside that all indications are that we are still on pause, even after this latest decision from the Court of Criminal Appeals. What we now know is that lawmakers are making a last-ditch effort to the Supreme Court of Texas. Really among the last straws here. Again, the governor could step in and grant a reprieve for 30 days, but we've yet to hear from the governor in this case, and we know advocates and attorneys for Robert Roberson have been calling on the governor to step in and do something for some time now. So again, the warrant for execution is valid until midnight tonight. And so right now, much as we've been doing earlier this evening, we are playing a waiting game here in Huntsville as this continues to make its way through the courts. Again, the Court of Criminal Appeals saying no to that temporary, pardon me, that temporary restraining order. And this now goes up to the Supreme Court of Texas.
Now, as you know, legislators become increasingly more desperate to try and get another stay, try to get another pause in this execution. Are protesters that are there, are they getting a little more rowdy, a little more rambunctious, or are they still saying pretty much candlelit visual type of protest? Looks like we lost your audio for just a second. There, it's back. It's back. You moved a foot. Thank you so much.
Okay. So you asked about, how are the folks who've gathered out here, the protesters, the people who've kind of been holding vigil throughout the evening, how they're reacting to this. I was telling you earlier, one of these ladies here who's kind of become the leader of this group and in offering updates about what's going on. Just about the same time we learned that the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals denied that temporary restraining order, she got on the bullhorn, made the announcement to the people who are here, and the mood remains somber. I haven't noticed anybody getting extra upset or irate. Right now, it's just kind of quiet over there. They're holding vigil. They've got their signs, and some folks were holding candles earlier. And so, as far as this latest decision, how it's impacted things here, everybody's still playing the waiting game for now.
Alrighty, and we just had Jack in our comments ask, does the state Supreme Court, which has jurisdiction over civil matters, including that subpoena, which is civil, do anything? And the response is yes. That's who the legislator currently, or legislators, I believe is the right word, goodness gracious, are actively trying to petition to try and do anything to stop this execution. Is that your belief as well, Blake?
Yeah, that's my understanding. So Jack brings up something here, and we were talking about this early. So the Court of Criminal Appeals, who is the state's highest criminal court, they deal with criminal matters, they denied this. But we do know that the Texas Supreme Court in this case, this can go up to their level, and it is. That's our understanding this evening. And that's because when we're talking about this temporary restraining order, that is a civil matter, because basically, in essence, what they're trying to do is get Robert Roberson to go and testify about this case come next week or maybe sometime later. And so that's kind of been their way around the scheduled execution